What's up, everybody? Welcome to
Hello.
Married with Media Live on a Saturday night.
I know. We're really.
We're mixing it up.
I know. It's been a while since we've done a live.
Yeah,
I'm trying to
I actually
think.
think the
Was it-
last live we did was on a Saturday night.
Was
And it was
it?
Chucky.
Okay, yeah. I was gonna say the Chucky live.
Yep, I think we did a Chucky live on Saturday nights, and we're back 2 months later talking about another horror
2 months later.
franchise.
Wow.
Yeah. I've noticed that we talk about a lot of horror on this channel. I wonder why.
I know, it's really quite strange. I think that you probably secretly love
I think
that.
I have something to do with it. I did bring my screen mask tonight.
Yeah, you should have put it on.
But I don't know. I didn't know if I wanted to put it on. I get myself all hot.
Yeah, it's
bothered.
funny because when we went and saw the new Scream, we pulled up in the parking lot. We got there a little bit early, and we did like a little skit, I guess. And Ken put on the mask, and then like somebody pulled up beside us, and I'm like, "You're gonna scare people."
You say that like the people in here didn't watch that video.
Oh well,
You got to assume that they did.
Well, they might not have. I don't know.
I don't know.
Well, they didn't know though about somebody pulling up beside us.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I see what you did there.
that's
I see what
why
you did there.
Brought it up, but
We're stalling until some people actually come in here. We want to talk Scream, and we want to
Yeah.
talk Scream with you guys. That's why we went live. So if you've seen Scream, and I hope that you have, if you're in the spoiler stream,
yeah.
Leave your thoughts down below, and let's just talk about this movie.
Yeah, we wanted to talk about spoilers because, it's fun to talk about spoilers.
Yeah.
I literally hate doing reviews sometimes because, usually you try not to give anything away, and it just sucks to not be able to talk about stuff. So we're going to talk about spoilers, and then we decided to do our individual ranking of all 5 screens.
There will be a ranking, so we'll talk about the movie, and then we'll do the ranking at the end.
Yeah, that sounds good. Yep.
So yeah, we got a few people in the house. I'll call out Lapke Visions. He couldn't make the live, but he was here.
He's always a
early.
very faithful commenter.
Yeah. I wish I could make it, guys, because I could talk Scream 2022 all night. I'll have to catch this stream on the replay later.
Darn.
Matt Carey says horror in 4K in the house. Let's go, guys. What's up, man? How are you doing?
Okay, so he's Matt on here, but horror in 4K
He's
on
horror
Instagram.
in 4K on Instagram.
Okay, yeah, because
he was on the battle stream last night too. So.
Yeah, I heard that. I just started following him on Instagram today, I think.
Yep, Matt's a good guy.
Yeah,
Appreciate you being here, man. And we got Tony here. What's up, Tony?
Hey,
Says, "Hi guys, I'm
Tony.
looking forward to your
Been a
thoughts."
while.
Tony, you saw Scream, right? I'm pretty sure I saw Tony pictured in
I'm sure,
front of a Scream poster.
I'm sure he has if he's here.
Okay,
But
yeah. Chase Wilson said, "Good evening, Ken and Michelle." What's up, Chase? How are you doing tonight? My Killer Podcast in the house. What's up? What's up? What is up, My Killer Podcast? I'm pretty sure you've seen Scream as well.
Yep.
Patrick Fran says, "Hello. How is it going tonight?" It's going good. It's going good. Yeah, you ready to talk about this thing?
Yeah, let's talk about.
Yeah, I don't know. I felt like I just
or
had more to say
Scream.
about it because we reviewed it for like 3 minutes in the car, and I feel like we talked about the lemon squares for like 2 minutes.
Oh, whatever.
So I was like, I've got more to say.
Yeah.
About this movie,
right?
Other than what's her name, Mary. I knew her name, Mary Shelton's lemon squares.
Okay.
I have more to say about them.
You know what? Those lemon squares were important to me.
They were, and then that really, made Scream 4 feel important. The fact that they brought back the lemon squares,
like I talked about in our quick little review. That was one of my favorite parts about Scream 5 or Scream, whatever you want to call it. Was all the callbacks to the other ones. And so, they made it a point in this movie to like zoom in on the fridge and show the little note that she had wrote to her son about the lemon squares in the fridge. So anyway, I just thought it was super cute. Plus, I just love, mother-son relationships or, just mothers and kids in general.
That actress, which she hasn't been in anything that I know of since the 2000s, except for Scream 4 and Scream 5. She actually did some really good acting in that scene. Like that was a very suspenseful moment.
When she was driving back to the house.
Yeah.
It was sad.
But going back to what you said with the callbacks and everything, this is
Did you not love it?
No, I did. And my point I'm trying to make with this franchise, I like how they're all like the continuity is there. Like it's definitely more consistent than most other horror franchises, but it's all it has consistent storytelling through 1 through 5. Like they don't try to cut anything out. They don't try to pretend anything doesn't exist. Well, with Halloween, they've rebooted it like 5 times. There's 8 different timelines.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of different timelines in Friday the 13th. That is
super annoying.
Nightmare on Elm Street's been rebooted.
Right.
And I like the fact that we have Scream. It's been going since 1996, and it's the same continuous timeline.
We could argue, though, that Scream isn't quite as old as Halloween, and
you could, but what I would say to that is that Scream's been going for 26 years.
Yeah.
And Halloween waited like 15 years before they rebooted again.
Yeah, but I mean, we had a break from 2011
if you want to count Halloween
to 2022.
So you had actually Halloween waited 3 years or 4 years before they rebooted because they did Halloween 3, which is a completely different storyline.
Right. Yeah.
And then Friday the 13th you can't really count that as a continuous franchise because there's like a different set of kids in every movie.
Yeah.
So that's always kind of been the same. But I like that about Scream. I think the only other horror franchise that's like that, from what I heard, I've only watched 1 and 2, but Phantasm, they say has like the same characters from the beginning to the end.
Gotcha.
So I just
have no experience.
Yeah, it's definitely not as well known as Scream, but I just appreciate that about this, the fact that they don't shy away from anything, even though a lot of people don't like 3, which we'll get into later. They don't shy away from
which I got a hot take on that. So
yeah, they don't
be on the lookout.
They don't shy away from their history. They embrace it, and everybody has their history.
And we
Stewie
also
and Gail's been broken up like 8 times, but they
I know, right? It. Like, okay, so speaking of, do you call him Stewie?
Did I say Stewie?
I'm like
Dewey.
I'm like, hold on. You're making me think that I don't know.
Must have been thinking of Matthew Lillard.
Because I'm not great with remembering names. But speaking of Gail and Stewie, Dewey, which is, it's such a goofy name. But okay, so before we went and saw this movie, we did go back and watch the others, except for the first one, because we felt like we had seen it often and
I watched the first one in 4K in November, I think. So
yeah, but we had decided that we had seen it recently enough to be able to still, make a good ranking. And so anyway, when we were going back through and watching all of them, it's like, okay, I will say in this one, Dewey what's the word I'm looking for? He regained, or he came back for me in a positive way. But I told him as we were watching the other ones, he's literally like the worst part about the movies, because he is he acts like he cannot act. And I felt like in this one, I feel like he was acting better. Like, I feel like he upped his game. As far as
it was a different Dewey.
Yeah, I mean, he was a little down and depressed or whatever. I mean, he's always kind of been down in the dumps, or pissy or whatever. In the other ones too, he's always irritated or whatever. But anyway, in the other ones, he's just so.
He definitely had a certain way about him.
And we talked about too how
he didn't feel as much like a cartoon character in this one, like an actual Barney Fife, which they always make fun of him. He felt like that old, grizzled, worn down, retired from the police force, getting too old for this shit, veteran.
Yeah, he would, when I would just watch him, it was just, he was so goofy, and I just couldn't take it seriously. And I'm like, come on, I know you can do better than that. But anyway,
I don't know.
In this one, like I said, I do feel like he, I still can't think of the damn word I'm trying to say here in my brain, but I mean, I don't know if we want to redeem
redemption.
Thank you. But I mean, I don't know if we want to jump right into a big spoiler. Speaking of him,
We can hold off just a second.
Okay.
Let me read a couple comments. We got Brandon ASMR in here who says, "Hey y'all, I can't stick around, but I wanted to say hi." Well, glad you could join, man.
Okay, and fun little fact, I do like ASMR. I'm assuming that that's like you're talking about the ASMR that I think you're talking about. So anyway, that's
is there another ASMR?
I mean, maybe it like stands for something else. I don't know. Maybe it's his initials or
Robert's Napoli. I'm sorry, man. I can't say it. Hello, good to see you both. Basement Blue says it was nice having all the callbacks from the other films. The binge of all 4 movies helped prior to seeing this one.
Yes.
Yeah, I saw you watch all those. Was that a first time watch for you, Tony, or was that just the first time in a long time?
Yeah.
I was curious. What are your thoughts on the James Bond movie, No Time to Die? We're not Bond fans, and we didn't see it.
No.
So yeah. Maybe someday we'll do a Bond ranking or something. Ken was just watching your Liar Liar review and got notified about this starting. Well, definitely come watch us. You can go back and watch my Liar Liar review later. That's not as important. Chase Wilson said great callbacks and Easter eggs. Matt Carey says, did you guys know the ghost face was with the flamethrower in Stab 8 was Matthew Lillard? Was it really? So he was actually in the film?
Huh.
I did not know that. Matt Carey said also Drew Barrymore was the voice of the principal in the school. Fun fact, great callbacks. Really? Well, I buy that. I mean, Drew Barrymore is, I think she had all the cast on her show or something, like right before the movie.
Yeah, I saw her like promoting it and stuff.
Loved all the Easter eggs. I'm sure I missed some, but the ones I caught were great.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Dewey is a legend.
I guess now.
Yeah, I guess we'll go ahead and spoil it. I can tell you're itching to spoil it. Dewey dies.
We're on the topic. It makes sense to just go into it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we, I feel like that was probably the big emotional scene of the movie. We talked about how it seemed every scream, Gail and Dewey were like, they had this like back and forth relationship, like they were hot and cold, and I don't know, but we had saw in the beginning of this one that they had split up because, she went to the city, I guess, to pursue her news career or whatever you want to say.
Yeah, she was like on a Good Morning America type show.
Right. She was Big Tom, and, he wanted to stay, is it Woodsboro?
It would have been cool if she was on a morning show with Jennifer Aniston. Like a morning show crossover. And then you have that Friends connection too.
Yeah. Which, real quick, in the other Screams, I forget which one it was, but they do make a lot of like Friends references.
Yeah.
Because, obviously.
Well, there's
on Friends.
I think it was in the second one, but David Schwimmer, which plays Ross, was playing somebody in one of the movies.
Gotcha.
But I don't think they ever show him. But then I think in this movie they show a poster with Schwimmer on it of Stab.
Well, I saw his name.
Yeah.
Or something. So. But anyway, so they're like estranged in this episode. They've basically separated or whatever. From what I've gathered, and
yeah,
their
longest streak was 3 to 4 because, and I forgot all about that, but apparently from the end of 3, they were together all the way from 1999 or 2000 to 2011, so 11 years.
Right,
they were married and then they split up after Scream 4 for whatever reason.
So anyway, they definitely had this emotional scene where she's like, "You didn't even give it a chance or whatever." Yada, yada, yada. And then, I think you kind of called it like he felt like that they did that because he was
they had
die.
Closure.
Yeah.
Like right in the middle of the movie. I was like, one of them's done. Like,
right.
Next scene.
And so, yeah. And I think that it made total sense that it was him, because he's been like the sheriff.
You thought he died in 2. Like we've already been preparing for Dewey's death.
Yeah, that's another thing is he's literally been like stabbed in every single one of them, like where you think that he would die and he didn't. And so anyway, he definitely died in this one pretty good. It was, pretty bloody. We got a nice hospital scene, which I know you're a fan of hospital.
I do like hospital scenes.
I don't know if it really,
even though it's always unrealistic. I think you commented on it when there's like nobody at the hospital at night and everybody's just walking around and nobody's there.
Yeah, the girl. I would say like the main girl, and I can't even think of what her name is in it. I can't think of it. But yeah, in the hospital, it's like, where the hell are all the staff, the other patients? It's like they just totally disappeared.
I feel like in Chucky, when they did the hospital episode, there was people.
It was, yeah, for sure. It was much more realistic. But anyway, so yeah, Dewey's dead. We got the scene of them bringing out his body in a bag, and Gail knows that it's him. She's running
Chase said he cried when Dewey died. Loved his story arc, though.
Yeah. I mean, it was a little sad.
Yeah, Tony brought up to make sure you knew he was dead this time. He seems to have been killed in all the previous films, but the miraculous comeback by the end of each film.
Right.
Yeah, and I think that they really showed you that he died because they zoomed in on his eyes and had that like dead eyes.
Like he's dead. Like his eyes were open and he was gone. And then So anyway, Dewey is no more. So
I will say with that scene, I liked it. Like it was definitely had some emotional weight to it.
Mm-hmm.
But also it kind of felt like, all right, we knew they were going to kill somebody off because they couldn't let them all survive again.
Yeah.
It just felt a little
on the nose.
And also like I expected it.
Right.
And also too little too late, I guess, because everybody's been complaining that, they don't ever kill off any main characters and stuff like that. And
Gotcha.
They're always survive every film. And they've already survived like 3 films.
Yeah.
He dies in this one. I was like, why this one? It just didn't feel like it fit. I don't know. Something about it. Just
gotcha.
I didn't mind that they killed him. It just something about the scene.
Gotcha. Yeah, I mean, I thought it was fine. It didn't.
I did like the line that Ghostface said. It's an honor.
It's been an honor. It was an honor.
I liked that.
I did too. Yep. Same.
Matt said, "Ha, Tony, nobody coming back from that. They did Dewey. I almost said duty. Dirty in this one.
I can't.
I felt like it was time for a legacy character to die.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah, because I mean, if you want to count Randy as a legacy character, he died in Scream 2.
Nah.
But we got
How can you be deaths. A legacy when you've only made it to the second?
But we didn't get any of the big 3 die in 3 or 4. So that was a little,
Yeah, but I mean, there's really not that many of the legacy characters.
There's 3. It is just weird that all 3 of them will make it through 2 movies. So that does feel a little bit too safe. But then again, it's like they're the stars. So like, what do you do?
Well, and then again, though, it's like it's not been. But it's always been them like trying to. Well, besides Neve Campbell, like it's always been them trying to help her, I guess, and so or like help whoever is in trouble.
Yeah,
because like Ghostface always targets a specific group because it's always like a friend group or whatever. I don't know. So anyway.
Yeah. So let's see. Poor Dewey.
Got some Dewey fans.
Old Dewey. So yeah.
But can we just admit that he's a goofy character? Like he doesn't act very well. And then we were making fun. We were making fun of like how he like walks funny or runs funny and stuff.
Oh, he walked with a hell of a limp in Scream 2 because he does get stabbed in Scream. He gets stabbed in the back.
But he does.
But he gets stabbed like 8 times in Scream 2, and in Scream 3, he like has barely any limp at all.
Well, he's recovered a little bit, some physical therapy maybe. But I do appreciate that he mentioned something about why he walked the way that he did. He said something about having nerve damage, which you had said that as a joke anyway. You're like, babe, come on. He's been stabbed like 20 times. Of course he walks like that. But anyway, I think I was trying to say this earlier, but then got distracted. But it's also kind of hard to watch him because I think of Scary Movie and how they depict him in that. And so then it's just really, the lines are very blurry.
Definitely told you not to bother me while I'm cleaning my room.
Because he literally, like, that's kind of how I see him, like just goofy. And so anyway, but enough about Dewey. What else do you want to talk about?
Well, before we broke into Dewey, I just wanted to get your overall thoughts and opinions on the movie as a whole.
What is it with you? And like,
how did you feel about it? Were you satisfied?
So I will say when I was sitting in the theater, I wasn't like so enthralled in it that like I didn't want it to end. If that'll tell you anything. I wasn't like, oh man, like.
And I gotta shout out Mama Blu-ray in here.
Yes,
I hope you're doing well.
Yep, hope you're doing good. I saw that you broke your hip.
Heard you had a bit of a fall. I hope you're doing good.
Yeah,
hope you're doing good.
Yep, thinking about you.
Yeah.
But yeah, so now I'm distracted. What were we talking about?
Your thoughts on the movie?
I know, but what was I saying?
I don't remember.
It's never good to break my train of thought, babe. I was talking about
how you complain all the time how I'm never listening to you.
Yeah, and you still weren't because you couldn't tell me what I was talking about.
Do you expect any more from me on a live stream?
Anyway, I had it and now I'm losing it again. When I was sitting there, I wasn't like, this is amazing or anything. I still enjoyed it, but like, it's definitely not one of my favorites. And you'll see that when we do our little ranking. But
well, it kind of surprises me that it's not. Anyway, I don't want to spoil the ranking, but anyway, because you
why does it?
Well, you seem kind of low on some of the other movies that we watched,
right?
The Scream movies,
yeah.
But
so that doesn't mean anything when you stack them up against one another. Then
I guess with this movie, I was so disappointed. I've just been so disappointed with all these horror franchise reboots and sequels, Candyman, Halloween Kills.
Yep.
It was nice to come out of a horror sequel, franchise reboot, whatever you want to call it, and say, you know what, that was pretty good.
Yeah.
That was pretty solid. I really don't have a ton to really complain about. It was pretty good.
That's not true.
I can complain about stuff. I can nitpick and tear it apart, but overall, it was a solid slasher horror movie.
Gotcha.
And I was happy with it.
Well,
because I wasn't expecting it to be the best thing ever, like since the first one or something.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if you want to get into like the big reveal.
We can. But also with this one, I feel like they did play it pretty safe and pretty standard and pretty basic, which is why I was satisfied with it, but also not satisfied with it, if that makes any sense. They could have took some big swings. They could have done some big things with it.
Like what?
I don't know. I'm not a writer. I don't know what they do. I don't know. They could have done anything.
I feel like you don't really know.
It felt like all of the other Scream movies. Like when you got to the end, two people are the killers. They have a motive.
Right, which you talked about.
They fight the killers. They kill the killers.
Like the movies
and then they
are
go
consistent.
about it. Yeah, it's the same thing.
Yeah.
Rinse, wash, repeat.
Yeah.
Dewey died. That was something different.
Yeah.
But everything was the same. Nothing really out of left field. Now I said I would have liked it if they had like 3 or 4 killers or something.
Yeah, I remember
that would have switched it up somewhat. I don't know.
Yeah, that it would be cool if they had 3 killers or whatever, but I don't know. I don't know if you want to jump into, like I said, the big reveal of who Ghostface was, or Ghostfaced, plural.
Let's talk about some of the characters. What did you think about?
Well, yeah, I was gonna also, maybe we could talk about like how they were. It was like very in your face about. It was like they were almost making fun of like horror movies.
Yeah.
And like how if you are in a horror movie, or like they were talking about how people get pissed off nowadays when they bring back a movie. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Like they were, that one girl, she acts like she's like a film critic or something, or like she knows a lot about film.
I like that stuff with her because she was Randy's niece.
Right.
So it made sense for her to act like that.
Right.
She's taken after him.
Right.
Now, I don't know if anybody else noticed. You got any physical media fans out there?
I already know what you're going to say.
When they were in there talking and explaining the rules of the reboot or requel or whatever they were trying to explain, right behind that girl was like a Scream Factory box set of the Stab movies. And I marked out for that. I thought that was super cool.
You marked out for that?
I freaking looked over you and said something.
What does marked out mean?
It's wrestling terminology, but it basically means they got to pop.
I
got excited.
I mean, I get what you're saying it means, but I've never heard that expression before.
Yeah, I was going nuts for that. I was like, oh my god!
I mean, those
it looked like it had like it wasn't turned all the way, but like I could see like some Ghostface like stab artwork on the side. It looked like the Friday the 13th set, but stab.
Right.
I don't know.
And I mean, those are the kind of things that I like. Like I like, going back to the callbacks or Easter eggs or stuff like that. Stuff's fun to me.
Yeah.
Like I think that's cool too.
So Scream supports physical media. That was my takeaway.
Yeah. But yeah, like I said, it was very like in your face about like talking about like film and movies, and like they mentioned, different directors and stuff. They mentioned Jordan Peele, I think.
Well, yeah, right from the beginning, the girls I like elevated horror, and so
yes, in the beginning, yeah,
and that's the one type of horror that's really coming to prominence since Scream 4.
What's it called? Babadook?
Elevated horror, which is art house horror, is what they also call it. But
she was like literally naming like all your favorites.
She did. She named like
Hereditary.
The Babadook is okay. I don't love the Babadook, but she was like Hereditary, the Witch. I was like, oh yeah. That's
Hereditary, The Witch. I thought it was funny because she was talking. She was like all like like I don't know the word, kind of like snobby, like.
I don't like those stab movies.
Yeah, she's like, there's nothing. Yeah, there's nothing to it. Like I don't know, but
because everybody knows like there's horror fans, and then there's like these like real pretentious like high class horror fans that are like, I don't like that slasher stuff. I only like this highly intellectual horror.
Right. So yeah, there was definitely a lot of that going on, which I thought that was fun. I liked that. That was one of the things that I enjoyed about Scream 5 or Scream. I still don't know.
I've heard it called 5 Cream.
Yes, I saw that. Anyway, okay. So did you want to talk about some other characters?
Well, I did. This is one thing I was trying to take into account when I went back to rank. I liked a lot of these characters. In a lot of the other Scream movies, a lot of characters annoyed the piss out of me.
Yeah.
Outside like the main ones, I noticed when we were rewatching even some of my favorite Scream movies.
Yeah.
Except for the first one. I don't think there was one character in here that really annoyed me. I liked them all. Of course, the one girl I kind of knew was the killer right away.
Yeah. See, she was the one that I did not like.
And it was so obvious that I was like, she probably won't be.
Yeah.
But it was like, you knew she probably was.
Gotcha.
Too.
Which
and also
spoiler, I mean.
Well, I didn't say what girl it was.
Okay.
But anyway.
It's okay when you want to talk about the big reveal, but when I want to talk about it, well, let's.
I just like it to come up organically. But anyway, the actress's name is Mikey Madison, who played Amber Friedman. She's like kind of like the goth girl. And she's also on Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Yeah.
And she gets fucking punched in the face by Brad Pitt, and it's hilarious in that movie.
Yeah, I've only seen that movie once, but I think I remember that.
Yeah. Because I was like, where have I seen her before?
Yeah.
I knew she was familiar.
So did you want to talk about anybody else? Like who was your did you have a favorite
Well,
character?
We can talk about Jack Quaid, who is Randy Quaid's not Randy Quaid, Dennis Quaid's son.
Yeah.
Who's also in The Boys.
Randy Quaid? I don't
Randy Quaid's cousin Eddie from Christmas Vacation. Come on now.
Oh, okay.
But anyway, Dennis Quaid, you know Dennis Quaid, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so Jack Quaid is Dennis Quaid's son. He was good in the film, but I'll let you spoil this one. You want to spoil it?
I mean, I guess. So there is a YouTuber that on his thumbnail, he literally put one of the killers on the thumbnail, and so I had already.
You want to go there?
Yeah, I was just gonna go there, because I'm trying to think like if I would have been as. I feel like I wouldn't have thought he was the killer had I not seen this YouTuber's thumbnail or whatever. But once I saw the thumbnail, I'm like, is he like literally saying
you don't
who the
know.
killer
It could be. There was a lot of thumbnails with a lot of different people on them.
No, but like when I saw it, I was like, you know what? I think that's right. And I think that is who it is. Cause I feel like I had seen something else. And I mean, you know how it is in the YouTube world. Like watch what you, and Instagram even too, like you just got to be really careful or things get spoiled. But anyway, so I saw, what's his name again? Jack Quaid.
Jack Quaid. Richie in the movie.
Yeah. I had saw him on the cover of somebody's thumbnail, and, you know, it had the like mask like on half of his face or whatever.
Well, that's actually a poster for the movie. And they did that for every single character.
Okay. Yeah, but he only put that guy on his thumbnail.
Yeah.
So anyway, I had already like had it in my head that, oh my gosh, I think that guy's the killer in this movie. That sucks if that's what ends up being. And then I feel like, though, honestly, before we knew who the killers were, because spoiler alert, there's 2 of them. And I feel like they did a really good job with like keeping you guessing, because like it's like you think you know, but then do you really?
Well,
because then you're like trying to think about where they are when certain things happen, and you're like, well, there's no way that he could be it.
Well, they're, for a split second, they're trying to make you think it's Jenna Ortega who gets attacked in the beginning, in the hospital the whole movie.
Yeah.
I'm like, that doesn't even make sense. Like, how could it be her? Like, if it is her, like, how could it be her? Because she literally got stabbed.
Right.
She had to have got stabbed. She went to the hospital, got an operation. You can't fake that.
Yeah, that would be silly.
So was she just getting up in the middle of the night and going out and killing people? Or was she maybe the mastermind, had 2 people working for her, which is what I was thinking might be the case with the 3
would
killers.
Just be, stupid. So, but yeah, so, you know, the whole time, you know, we find out at the end that it's Jack and what's the girl's name in the movie?
Jack Quaid and Amber.
Yeah.
Richie and Amber.
And yeah, the Amber girl, so the whole time they're like the group of friends, you know, they're like, it's always in the friend group, and they're like trying to figure out, could it be one of you? And they're the one girl, the like movie buff or film buff, whatever you want to call her. What's her name?
Her name was Mindy Meeks Martin.
Mindy, yeah. She's a twin.
She's a twin with Chad Meeks
like you
Martin.
Said,
and like
it
I said,
was
they're
Randy's cousin.
Niece and nephew, which they did a Scream 3 callback, bringing the exact same actress from the 3rd one that you said you hated that girl.
I don't know who you're talking about.
You know who I'm talking about. The girl, their mom. Randy's sister. She was in Scream 3.
Yeah. But she was only in it for just a second. So.
But I like that
the callback.
She was in it.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Yeah.
Like
no, I know. We already talked about
consistency.
Right. Yeah. It still doesn't mean that I can't think she's annoying.
Yeah.
But, yeah. So the Mindy girl with the curly hair, one of the twins, she's like, you know, teaching them how to behave in a horror movie, basically. Like, don't go to the basement alone, or, you know, different things like that. And so they definitely kept you guessing, but in the end, it was the girl and the boyfriend. So, and I was just, the whole like motive with it was like, we talked about that.
Yeah.
Like, it just didn't really seem
weak. And to be honest, like, they've already done that motive. Like, that motive was done in Scream 2.
Well, we didn't talk about how the one girl, what's her name? Jack's girlfriend. We didn't talk about how she is.
Yeah, we'll get there.
We're getting there now.
We'll get there. Are you talking about Sam, her sister?
Yes.
Yes. And what do you want to talk about with her?
Well, I'm talking about how we didn't talk about how she is the daughter.
Yeah.
And
they reveal that very early.
Oh yeah.
I would have expected them to hold off on that a little bit. Maybe keep you guessing until at least like halfway through the movie.
Mm.
But it's like they show her seeing Billy Loomis. She sees visions of Billy Loomis.
Right.
Which, you know, is not unheard of for this franchise to do.
Yeah.
Because in the 3rd one, Neve Campbell's seen visions of her dead mother.
Right.
So that is something this franchise does. So I thought that fit. But it kind of felt a little Pet Sematary too, because he's seeing visions of
right. Yeah.
that dead person. So I thought that was cool. And that, from what I hear, that was actually Steve Ulrich.
Gotcha.
And a little bit of makeup to make him look like the younger Billy Loomis. But
yeah,
I was a little conflicted on all that stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know how you felt about it.
Yeah, I mean,
did it work for you?
It was okay. Like, I wasn't crazy about it.
That girl was pretty bland, if you ask me.
Oh, you think?
I thought she was pretty bland. I think that she got her chance to shine in like the last 15 minutes.
Yeah.
She's like, I'm a psychopath, or daughter of a psychopath. Or whatever. And like stabs that freaking guy like 80 times. That was cool.
Yeah.
The whole movie, though, if they're trying to say that she's going to be like the replacement or the new lead, I'm not really as into that. I don't know if I'd want to watch a movie led by her.
Yeah.
Because they're going to make another one. They definitely are.
Oh, you think? I feel like that they should honestly just like call it a wraps. Like,
now maybe they could hand the reins to her sister, who I think is a far better actress, but was in the hospital bed the whole movie.
Right.
And maybe it would be okay. But I don't know. She was fine. Did you like her?
I mean, I thought she was fine enough. I felt like she was pretty like on par with everyone else. Like,
you could say that because a lot of people say that Neve Campbell has no personality.
She doesn't.
Movies. So maybe that's on brand. The fact, but it's just Neve Campbell's got that built-in nostalgia. So it's, at this point, she doesn't have to have that much of a personality. She just has to show up. Everybody's like, it's Sydney. We love Sydney.
Yeah.
But on that note, what did you think of Neve Campbell in this movie compared to the other ones? Did you like her better or worse?
I mean, I guess I liked her better, but to be honest, she's in it less, so that might be why.
Yeah.
I mean, she, like, her character has always been, like, I'm probably going to get a lot of shit for it, but I think her character is kind of annoying. Like, the way that she talks, like, I know she's been through some shit, but just, like, I don't know, the way that she's just, and I don't really know if I love her acting skills. But yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I definitely feel like everyone, as far as the like original cast, I feel like their acting has definitely improved over the years. You know, I feel like they did much better in this one or whatever, but yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I think that was the key, not using her that much.
Yeah.
Like the fact that she doesn't come back until, I don't know, I feel like the last 30 minutes.
Yeah.
It's not till after Dewey dies. They're never together on screen in this movie.
Right.
He just calls her up and she's just like, yeah, I'm never coming back there.
Yeah. I thought
like,
it was
good, stay away.
I thought it was cool how like at the end, you know, I feel like Gail and Sydney kind of got their moment to shine and help the girl or girls take down the killers. We got like a pretty cool, as far as, you know, you already talked about.
I did like both of them together, how they were teaming up.
Yeah.
It was just kind of like, yeah, we done this shit like 4 times. It's like, you know, let's go do it again.
Yeah. Like when they first pull up to the house, like where I guess showdown is, which is another
cool callback, because we find out that the house is the original house, of the house from the first one, Stu's house.
Right. But when they first pull up to the house, the girl that is the killer comes out and she's acting like she's, you know, in distress, screaming and hurt and all this stuff. And then I think it's Sydney looks over to Gail and she's like, what do you think? And she's like, meh. And she's like, yeah, I don't buy it, or something like that. And I thought that was kind of funny. So
she's like, fine. She shoots her.
Yeah. And I do think it's like, going back to callbacks and stuff too, like how they always talk about how you always have to shoot them in the head. Yes. Like they always come back. And so I just still think that that's kind of crazy, because these are just like normal people who are killing people. It's not like they're some kind of supernatural person. Yeah. And like, in the real world, they would die, but like they just make it this point to where you have to just shoot them in the head, or
no matter who it is, it's anybody. It can be anybody.
Yeah. So, but with the girl, we talked about how the main girl, I guess, gets her like epic stab scene to Jack or whatever. But the girl killer, Gail and Sydney basically like catch her on fire. They like light the stove and she falls into the stove and she's on fire. And
does she get set on fire in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood too?
She might.
I can't remember who Leonardo DiCaprio flame throws in the pool. I feel like it's her.
It might be her.
I feel like she jumps up and runs out of the glass.
Yeah. Then
he flame throws her into the pool.
Yeah, I remember that. It probably was her. That's funny. But yeah, so anyway, I think that they like wrapped it up pretty nicely, and I would be fine if they quit making more. I'm not really the type of person that like thinks that you just need to keep going and going and going just because of like nostalgia and whatever.
Yeah.
But
because they can only mess it up further.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just like after a while, it's like, okay, it was a good run. Like, let's
get some of these people in the chat. Matt Carey says that kill with Wes had me shocked, so brutal, and they didn't hold back with a knife in the throat. That's one thing I wanted to talk about this movie. The kills were pretty brutal.
Yeah.
There were some pretty good kills in this movie. I think some of the best in the franchise. And I liked the broad daylight kill. The fact that it was in the daytime.
It kept happening in the day, and I'm like, what is up with
that? He just jumped out of the bushes and just stabbed her repeatedly in the front yard. I was like, how could that happen in a neighborhood?
Yeah.
But I don't know. Sometimes we'll walk outside and there won't be anybody out there. So maybe it could happen.
Yeah, I guess.
Nobody's out there watching. But you did call out the fact that she called for backup.
And nobody got there.
Her son is in the house for like a good 5 to 10 minutes looking
and
for
no
Ghostface,
one is still there.
And nobody is still there.
And I'm like, no, because they don't they like live kind of in town. Like there's no reason why no one
like are they 10 minutes away? But it felt like they were in town also. I don't know. I'd need to see the layout of Woodsboro to really know if that's possible.
I'm like, come on, like
super excited to see Kyle Gallner in this film, and then super bummed when he died in like 3 seconds. Who is that?
Yeah, I don't know who that is.
I'm scrolling through. Oh, that's the boyfriend or the girl, the guy that was I don't know, the guy from the bar that was like trying to start stuff.
Oh yeah.
And then he went outside.
But like, who is he?
Got his throat slit. I don't know. I'd have to look at what else he's been in.
Popular from something else.
I knew who the killers were pretty early. Yeah, but did you, Ben? Because they could have flipped it on it. They like to do that. They like to make you think you know who the killers are and then flip it on you. But I do want to talk more about the killer reveal here in a second. My Killer Podcast, I know, writes, marked out, pop, LOL, pro wrestling lingo. I got you, Ken. See, you got me. He needs to be in more things. Super underrated actor at Matt Carey. Yeah, I'd have to look at it. I'm sure I've seen some he's in. Matthew Lillard played the Ghostface and Stab. Yep. I think Matt said that earlier. Jasmine Sylvie Brown, who played Mindy Meeks, stole the show. Loved her. He loves Mindy Meeks.
Is that the curly-haired girl?
Yeah.
She's been in something else, and I'm
Princess Diaries. That's the only other thing.
Oh, you're talking about her. I said the curly-haired girl, and you said yeah. You're talking about the weird-looking girl that was the mom of the twins.
So mean.
I mean, she's
I kind of wish those Stab movies were real. I kind of wish those. Oh yeah, he wants it. They are real. They're called Scream, man. But you wish that would be cool. Like if somebody, I don't know how they would do it. They couldn't do it because they couldn't get all the actors.
A movie in a movie, like.
But I wish they would have made those actual movies with Heather Graham and Luke Wilson, Tori Spelling. I want that Blu-ray box set. It's not fair. I know. Same. I was thinking the other day I should turn Stab into fan films. Yeah, absolutely. Michelle calling out Ken live. That's her thing. She likes doing that.
No, he.
Go girl. I don't even know what you called me out for. I feel like you're calling me out like every 5 seconds.
Because you're trying to micromanage everything and tell me when I can talk about something. I'll talk about something when I want to. This is my channel too.
Sorry, I'll shut up. Guys, we have a troll on the stream. Yeah, we had Love Face.
I'm waiting on you.
18 stream.
Gotta love it.
There you go. Douglas says, if they went back and did an Origins horror movie, what movie would you like to be done? I don't know. I'm not big on the origins for horror icons. My least favorite movie of all time is Rob Zombie's Halloween because of the origin.
It's kind of fun not knowing.
That being said,
violent.
I would take what's her name? Mrs. Voorhees origin story. Jason's mom. I would take a Pamela Voorhees origin story to kind of show what happened between her son drowning and Friday the 13th Part 1. Maybe she had another killing spree in there that we didn't know about. I don't know. Something like that. Hey guys, Horror in 4K sent me. Awesome. I had a great time with Scream. Thought it was very well put together and self-aware to the point where it was great. It was very well made. I'll definitely say that. It was a well-made movie. Hey guys, just came across your channel. Got sent here by Horror in 4K. Awesome. Thank you. Thanks for sending everybody here for Horror in 4K. Sister. Is that do I have to block this person?
I don't know.
Maybe I'll put him in timeout. I found the reveal quite lackluster. Okay, we can talk about the reveal again real quick. How was it for you? Did we talk about that before?
I mean, yeah, I guess. I think so.
It just felt like the same old, I guess. The fact that it was her boyfriend.
It was very on the nose and predictable. We already said that. We got to get to our ranking. It's 8:47. Come on. People don't want to wait.
Damn.
Yeah.
Because you keep Scream forever.
You keep putting it off. You're like, we'll get to that in a minute. Like, what is this?
The reveal was not unique, but it was nod to Wes Craven in the original movie. I was able to forget that. Yeah, because it was the boyfriend. It hasn't been the boyfriend since the first one. Yeah, you always think it's the boyfriend.
Yeah, that makes sense. I can appreciate the if that was a nod to to him.
Yeah, this whole movie felt like a nod to Wes Craven.
Well, I mean, at the end it said for Wes.
Yeah.
So that was.
Yeah. And I think that's I can respect that too.
Which
they don't want to go wild with it and do all kinds of different things.
How did he die? Like, did he have cancer or?
I honestly can't remember.
I can't either. I remember hearing about when he died, but I don't.
Are you disappointed that Stu wasn't one of the killers? I was extremely disappointed. No, to be honest, I would have been disappointed if Stu was the killer. Because Stu got a television set dropped on his head and was electrocuted. So how does he come back from that? I don't know.
Who's Stu?
Matthew Lillard. Learn the characters. I guess you should have rewatched one. Craig Wagner said she was the girl who got torched in Once Upon a Time. I hope they offer a role of Freddy Krueger in the reboot since she plays Fried Crispy well. That must be in her contract. I have to get set on fire every single movie.
That would be a fun thing to have to do.
Chase Wilson says, Sam seems to be a very controversial character. I'm interested to see if they take her character. Yeah, you see, they could take her character all the way to being the killer in the next one because she's a psychopath, apparently. She has that capability.
Yeah.
Wes Craven died from brain cancer. Okay.
Wow. Very sad. Terrible.
Very sad. Yeah, and the kid's name was Wes, and they killed him. And then they had a memorial party, and they had like 4 Wes stuff all hanging around.
Oh, yeah.
So, they named that kid Wes just for that.
That's kind of cool. I didn't even catch that, but...
Did It Follows get a mention, Matt? I didn't remember.
Mm-hmm. I
didn't remember. When did it get a mention?
When she was talking about some of the horror movies.
Really? Yeah. I didn't remember saying It Follows.
Well, sometimes you don't hear
All right, we're going to do the ranking now, guys. We're going to do the ranking. Are you done talking Scream? You got anything else you want to say about it?
I don't know. Am I allowed to talk about whatever I want to say?
Final thoughts.
No, I'm good. I'm good.
You sure?
Yeah, I think I've said what I want to say.
I'm trying to think if there's anything else you want to say, or I want to say.
We talked about the nod bags. We talked about the reveal.
Yeah, I feel like there's something. How'd you like the opening? Did the opening deliver? It's the first opening in Scream history that somebody didn't actually die.
I know you would have thought that she had died.
It was okay.
I thought it was. I don't know. I thought it was okay. I know they definitely had to get up to date on all the technology. So they had the automatic locks. There was a scene of her, which this was in the trailer, her going back and forth, locking the door, and then him hacking it or her hacking it, whatever, and unlocking it. And yeah, I thought it was fine. I wasn't just it wasn't too crazy, I guess, but
yeah.
And again, it was in one of the trailers, so.
Yeah, but you didn't know she lived.
But
so
they
gave
just
you something different.
Yeah. So anyway, all right,
So it's a good movie, and we liked it, which is more than I can say for Halloween Kills and Candyman.
Yeah, let's not talk about those.
And we gave it a 3.5 out of 5. Did we both give it the same score?
I think so.
All right. So
which is weird because I know what you ranked it. So
our Scream ranking is now live. Number 5. We're going to bring them both up at the same time. Your movie's going to be on your side, and mine's going to be on my side. And we're going to talk about them.
Go.
So my number 5 is Scream 4.
My number 5 is Scream 5. It's like it was meant to be there all along.
So I thought about it, and when we got done watching it, I was like, that's probably my least favorite.
Okay.
But then I thought about it, and I'm like, I liked all the characters better, and I think all the new characters better than I like the new characters from 4. And that was enough to push it over 4 for me. And when we rewatched 4, I didn't like it as much as I remember liking it from when we watched it a few years ago.
Yeah.
And maybe that's because I knew all the big twists and stuff.
I will say 4, which...
But... Go ahead.
4 and 5 were hard to rank for me. So I will say it was a close call for me personally. But go on. What do you want to say there, Ken?
I forgot. That's why I blurt out everything.
Well, you get your own live streams to talk about whatever you want.
I'm older than you. Borderline Alzheimer's. I have to say things when they pop in my head.
I literally just lost what I was going to say earlier tonight.
All right. We're both old.
So.
But anyway.
And you're only 2 years old.
What I was going to say is I want everybody to understand that I like all of these movies a lot. I think it's a really great, consistent horror franchise. I think they're all really solid horror movies.
Okay. I
just want to say that. I don't dislike any of these movies.
Yes.
Which is very cool for a horror franchise to be able to do that.
And it's really hard to do rankings for me personally. So there's our number 5.
We're going to go to number 4.
I just like doing this. I just think it's fun.
Well, you can do that. I gotta work here putting up this stuff, so I can't do fancy stuff. All right, so we just reversed. My number 4 is Scream 5, and your number 4 is.
I like how I'm putting them in order, like numerical order, basically. My number 5 is 5. My number 4 is 4. Yeah, like I said, 4 and 5 were hard for me to rank. That's just for me personally. The reveal at the end of 5 took it down for me.
I do think that the reveal of motive in 4 is slightly better than 5. I will say that. Emma Roberts.
Yeah.
Even though it's kind of a silly reason to.
Yeah.
I grew up having to hear about Sydney all the time, so turned me into a psychopath. But yeah, ultimately,
it's not any more silly than.
We found each other on a website or Reddit or whatever.
Yeah.
And we decided to start killing people and recreate Stab.
Yeah. So, yeah. There you go.
I gotcha. And also, one other thing I wanted to call out is where was the evidence? How did they know that she was Billy Loomis's daughter before she did? Like, did they explain that? And I forgot.
Yeah. She said that she had gone up and looked at her mom's journals.
I know how she found out, but how did Jack Quaid find out months before she did? Obviously, he would have to know to start dating her. Well, that's not just a coincidence. He knew.
Yeah, and I remember a scene where she was like, "Did you know?" And I'm sure he said how he knew, but I don't remember. So yeah. But anyway.
Yes, I think with Scream, when I was just thinking about it, I was like, I think I like Neve Campbell better in it. I think I like David Arquette better.
Really? Okay, well, like fair enough. That's your ranking, honey.
Okay, so Scream.
Number 3.
All right, number 3. This is where it's good. This list is going to start getting interesting. It's probably going to get some people heated, and it's okay. All right, you ready?
I'm ready.
My number 3 is Scream 3. Or do you want to talk about yours first? I don't want to go before you. Ladies first. You can talk about Scream.
So Scream 2.
I can't believe you put Scream 2 at number 3. That's all I got to say.
Honestly, I'm surprised I didn't rank it lower.
Yeah, after we watched it, I really am. I thought it was going to be dead last on your list.
I liked the movie theater scene. Okay. But that's literally the only thing I like about this movie. So honestly, I probably should have ranked it lower. I don't know. I really didn't like it. I didn't like how she was like, how Sydney's character was in like theater school or whatever. I hated that whole
That's the only
scene.
thing I don't like about it.
I hated all of that.
Like that stuff.
I hated all of it.
And the Jerry O'Connell dancing on the table scene is pretty out of place.
Like there was a lot about that movie I did not care for. So honestly, I'm surprised I didn't rank it lower.
Do you want to change it on the fly and put it in fifth?
I'm not going to change it, but okay. I probably should have.
The kills are pretty strong in that movie.
Yeah. So
and
I don't know.
I like the reveal a lot.
Yeah.
But here's the thing with Scream 3 is before rewatching them all, I had Scream 3 last. I had it number 4, and I had Scream 4 above it.
Mm-hmm.
When we rewatched, I was like, this movie is really not that bad.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I was just so overwhelmed with the feeling of this is not that bad.
Mm-hmm.
This is actually pretty good that I had to put it above 4.
Oh, there you go.
I just think I like it better. Plus, I love that detective guy, not Patrick Dempsey, but his partner, when he says that line. She was in a movie called Stabbed. She was stabbed. He was stabbed.
That guy was like an asshole.
I just like that
line.
line.
Real angry all the time.
But yeah, and we talked about it, and a lot of people don't like Parker Posey in the movie. She's not great. You don't have to talk
too much about it because I still got it on my list.
She's tolerable. All right, we'll talk about it a little bit later.
Okay.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
And I like the fact that this is the only movie that has one killer. I like it's different that way. All right, so we'll go to number 2.
Which?
You got Scream 3 at number 2, and I've got the original Scream.
There you go.
Which might ruffle some feathers, but that's the way I feel.
Well, is it though? Because sometimes you've said it before. Sometimes you like to do things to be different.
No.
And that doesn't make you cooler.
Wow. Wow.
So you didn't talk about this when you were talking about Scream, but
you didn't give me long enough. I would have.
Scream 3, I gotta shut it down because he'll just keep going. But Scream 3 for me, I just really liked it. I really liked how they were on a production set. I thought that was cool. And I don't know. I just really liked Scream 3. And obviously you agreed because you said that you thought you hated it and then you moved it up. So
no, I never thought I hated it.
You said you were going to put it last.
That doesn't mean I hate it. I always thought it was a solid movie, and I've always thought it got too much hate.
Yeah.
I've liked the movie since I've seen it. I've always liked the movie.
Yeah, I just thought I thought it was good.
Come on, it's got Jay and Silent Bob in it. Like, come on.
Yeah, it's just fun.
For like 2 seconds.
Like I said, I liked it on the set. That's the one that has like a lot of 90s actors, right? It's got Sarah Michelle
Gellar. Ooh, that's Scream 2.
Is that Scream 2?
That's my baby.
Oh, okay, never mind then. I'll scratch that then.
It does have a lot of old school actors though, because it's in Hollywood. You got Carrie Fisher in the movie.
Yeah,
you got Lance Hendrickson's in the movie.
Okay.
Can't think of anybody else. It's a cool movie. I like.
Well, obviously, I'm a little confused up here.
I think everything that happens at the end in the mansion is all good. Yeah. I like the final fight with her and Roman when he reveals himself to be her brother.
Yeah.
Like that's a pretty good reveal. That's a pretty good motive too.
Yeah, I thought so too. So I'm a fan of Scream 3. So
I think of all the Scream movies, like Roman has the most solid motive.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I think he does.
Yeah.
So let's move into number 1. We're interested to also, guys, as we're talking about this, leave your rankings in the chat. We want to see where this stuff ranks because I know it'll probably be different. And another thing is every place was different for us.
Mm-hmm.
Like we didn't have one movie that crossed over.
Mm-hmm.
It shows how different we are. My number 1 is Scream 2 and your number 1 is OG Scream.
Yeah,
1996.
Pretty on par.
That's pretty basic.
Pretty basic. But you know what? I'm not trying to be somebody I'm not.
Surprise, Sydney.
Yeah, I don't know. You just can't beat the original. Drew Barrymore. The opening scene, I feel like, is just enough. Like I can remember seeing that when it first came out, and it's just epic. Just epic.
It changed the game for sure. Horror was dead in 1996.
Like, it was
Scream
so,
revitalized
I just remember being so scary because it's like real, you know? It's like it can really happen. Like,
yeah. It's not Michael
it's scary
or Jason.
to be home alone and, you know, to get a phone call. Like, that's scary shit. So, yeah, I just remember being very scary. And I just remember the anticipation of it. You know, you got the popcorn on the stove and just that whole thing is just very iconic.
Scream changed the game, but Scream 2 upped that game.
Okay,
did everything the first one did, but bigger and better. They even say it. Jamie Kennedy says it when he's eating lunch with David Arquette in the diner. Did everything bigger and better.
Okay.
I don't know. I've always loved Scream 2. I've always had a soft spot for it, and it wasn't until recently I decided, because to be completely honest, like, it's hard for me to not. I like both these movies equally, I think.
Yeah.
I like them both equally, but like you said,
well, not me, but you know,
it comes down to it. Do I go with the old Scream or do I go with the newer Scream, which I think is slightly cooler? I don't know. I just like the edge that the second Scream has. I just like the style. I always remember when I was a kid, I loved Scream. And when they showed the preview for Scream 2 with that same scene with David Arquette and Jamie Kennedy talking in the diner, and they were talking about sequels and stuff, all that stuff, just talking about like what's the best sequel of all time and all, it just hits my nerd heart.
Your nerd heart.
And I just like what they did with the movie. I don't know. I love the opening. I think that the theater killing stuff with Omar Epps and Jada Pinkett Smith is the strongest opening of all the films.
What?
I understand.
Oh my God.
I understand those who say that the Drew Barrymore one is the strongest. I get it. It's definitely the most iconic. You know, it was the first time they killed a main character. Everybody thought Drew was going to be the star of the movie. She got killed in the first 10 minutes, and everybody was shocked. I get that. But it's just been so parodied to death, and it's like I always think of Scary Movie. But I guess the theater kill was also parodied too, so they were both kind of parodied.
That's not their fault, though.
No, it's not. It's just I don't know. It's just so iconic that it becomes boring.
I feel like
at some point.
I don't know. I feel like is the theater scene like that's kind of a lengthy opening. Is it one of the longest openings to a kill or no? They're all about the same, or
I don't know. I don't feel like it's any longer than the Drew Barrymore one.
You got them going to the bathroom, her getting the popcorn, you are going back in.
Yeah. I also want to talk about. I like the opening to Scream 3, another positive Scream 3. I think the opening to Scream 3 is pretty strong one with Cotton going back to his apartment at the beginning.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, stuff. And how she thought that's the one where they introduced the voice changing, right?
Yes, that's another cool thing about Scream 3.
Yeah.
That he can beat anybody's voice.
Right. And so, she thought that Cotton's girlfriend thought that it was him. And he comes in, and anyway, we're not talking about that one, but
you know what? Screw it. I'm putting Scream 3 at my number one. Just to be different.
Shut up.
No, I can't do that.
Get out of here. There you have it.
Scream 2 is awesome. You got Randy that dies right in the middle of the movie. Like, that was shocking. The deaths are brutal.
Really.
And I did
not like Randy.
I like the Billy. Talk about another great motive. I like the Billy Loomis mom angle. Mrs. Loomis coming back to get revenge for her son. It makes a lot of sense. I like Timothy Olyphant. I love him. I think he plays a good psychopath.
I mean, the mom definitely played a good psycho.
Laurie Metcalf's a great actress. She's a Broadway actress. She's classically trained.
I still didn't love it, but anyway. So did anybody put their rankings in the comment?
We're gonna look. We're gonna look here in a second. Then we're gonna shut this son of a gun down.
Yeah.
For our kids run down here and ruin our nights. Let's see. Ken is giving Michelle permission to do the rankings now. I am. You have got permission.
I mean,
have not seen the movie yet, but sounds exciting. Well, I hope you haven't been spoiled, Constance. Wow, interesting. I don't know. I did like Jill as Ghostface and her motives. Jill was Emma Roberts, right?
Yes.
How many Screams did you all see in the theater? Just curious.
Just 2.
I didn't see the first one. I remember watching the first one on VHS for the first time. But I saw Scream 2 in the theater. My sister got me into it because I was like 12 or something. I don't remember if I saw Scream 3 in theaters. I feel like I did. I didn't see Scream 4 in theaters. I don't remember seeing it in theaters.
We didn't?
Maybe we did.
Yeah, we did.
You think, did we?
I think we did.
Okay, we did. So I've seen all of them, but the first one in theaters.
Yeah, and I've only seen 4 and 5.
Let's see. I saw 3 in the theater. I'm pretty sure I saw 3. Jill's motives in Scream 4 was plausible since every girl wants to be insta famous. It was. Let's see. Hi guys, sorry I'm late. Well, good for you to be here, man. Good for you to be here. Thanks for coming. Hey everyone, just finishing up another video. We'll be posting King's Daughter review soon. Wait, we're here to talk Scream. It was amazing. 5 is at number 2 for now. Thought it was surprising and funnier.
Wow,
a lot of people put 5 at 2. A lot of people are discounting all the other sequels and saying 5 is the best since the original. Michelle is cracking me up. That's what she does. Ken is shutting Ken down. Yeah.
Wow.
You know what? I'm quitting. I'm quitting the channel tonight. I'm done.
Well, I guess it's just.
I'm going back to my solo act.
Divorced with media.
There you go. That's a good name. I think you're going to go far, kid. I can feel it.
Oh, yeah.
Susan Red says my rankings go worst to best. Scream 4, Scream 2, Scream 3, Scream 5, Scream. That's an interesting ranking.
Okay.
Mine goes worst to best. 3, 4, 5, 2, 1. Not a bad ranking. I like that you showed respect to 2. 1, 2, 5, 4, 3. Is that best to worst, Matt? I'm guessing that's best to worst.
Yeah.
Because I don't think anybody has 3 at number 1. I'm shocked by the rankings, but it's refreshing to see a very different lineup than most. Agree, Michelle. You can't F with the original. I mean, it's true. The first Scream is great. I'm only a big fan of the first Scream. I liked 2, but haven't seen it since before the year 2000. Scream 3, I saw once in the theater, and that's it. Haven't seen 4 or 5. The original can't be topped. It's a great movie. My ranking from last to first is 4, 5, 3, 2, 1.
Wow, almost in order.
You got yours. Yours is no, yours was 2, 3, 1.
Pretty close, but
2, 3, 1. 1, 4, 5, 2, 3. So you got 4 at number 2. That's interesting. That is interesting. Kevin says Scream is number 5, or Scream 3 is number 5. Mm-hmm. Scream 5 is number 4. Scream 2 is number 3. Scream 4 is number 1. I think he put number 1 twice. Okay, there we go.
No, yeah, he did. Yeah, Scream 4.
And then the first Scream is number 1. I don't think that there's a lot of people that wouldn't put the first Scream at number 1. It's definitely iconic.
It is.
I do love Matthew Lillard in it. It definitely has the best characters. Well, it might be a better movie than Scream 2.
Maybe
but I like Scream 2 better.
Don't try to be cool.
And I like that I like it better. So I'm going to keep it at number 1 for now. Maybe I'll come to my senses one day.
Probably not, but there we have it, guys. There's our thoughts on Scream and
our ranking
and
all that good stuff. You got it in one video.
Yeah. What do we got coming up, babe? We got anything coming up? Maybe some Ozark material.
Yeah, some Ozark.
New season of Ozark just dropped. We have not been able to watch it yet. I mean, it's only Saturday. It dropped yesterday. We ended up finishing Spencer. We had started that, so we finished Spencer.
We've watched a lot of movies this month.
Yeah.
So maybe some kind of a movie wrap up at the end of January would be in order. We could just talk about every movie we watched in January or something.
Yeah.
That could be fun.
And then
we could watch Titan and do a review on that. Talk about
all I've heard is that
she has
sex with a car, which
that would be a fun review.
I mean, that's like literally not possible, but anyway, it's movies for you. So, so are we like officially gonna be on? Do we want to talk about any of the things that we're gonna be on coming up?
Yeah, well, we're going to be on Sledgehammer Horror's channel this upcoming Friday, talking about best horror love stories.
Yeah, I think they're
top 10 horror love stories.
Yeah, so we're still brainstorming on those. I've definitely been picking my brain with this because I think we have to come up with 10 each, and so it's pretty difficult.
That is difficult.
But yeah, definitely going to be a little out of my comfort zone because like I do like horror, but I feel like I'm going to be a little bit out of my element I'm going to feel like
you're more of a casual horror fan.
Yeah, I'm going to feel like I don't know what I'm doing, but that's okay. I'm going to do it. And we're going to talk about horror love stories. But so we'll be doing that. You said next Friday? Is that right?
Next Friday.
Next Friday. So I'll be posting when that comes up. I'll include a link or something so you guys can join. And then also, if you all know who Miss Jess is on Instagram, over on 4K D-Ray's channel, he's got the movie battles every Thursday night. I know he's doing Friday night.
Yep, Thursday night
sometimes, but I'm unofficially going to be on there as a just like guest. I'm not going to be in a battle.
A guest commentator.
But Miss Jess asked me if I would want to be on there just as a guest or whatever. And so I'm going to do that. But that will just be me. No Ken. I don't have to share the mic. Just me.
I told you, divorce with media. It's got a future.
So yeah, that is going to be, I think, on February 3rd. But again, I'll be posting on Instagram when it gets closer or whatever. So that's all we got for now, guys. But
yeah, we'll think of something. I'm sure there's something for us to talk about.
Yeah, we'll be having something come out. So
it's kind of slow this month. It'll pick up with some movies next month.
Yeah. So there you have it.
That's another thing I could say. One more thing.
What?
Just one more thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's January. January is notorious for having shitty horror movies, and this is a good horror movie in January. So if you guys haven't seen Scream and you're watching the spoiler review, I don't know why, but definitely go out and see Scream. Support it. It's a good horror movie in theaters. And I would recommend go see it.
Yeah.
So thank y'all for watching. Like, comment down below. It definitely helps out the stream.
Yeah. Thanks for hanging out
subscribe to
with
our
us.
channel if you haven't already. And we'll see y'all later.
Bye.